Hello Pisces, we're going to do a little bit of candlelight tarot. That's what I call late night tarot. Isn't that great? Happy Friday, or maybe Saturday very early in the morning by the time you see this. I just felt the need to come and say hello. We have the King of Swords that came out first. Yeah, the King of Communication. Absolutely. It's always important to communicate, isn't it, Pisces? I hope you're doing well. If it's your first time here, this is like a Pisces motivational, inspirational channel. This is for light workers or people who, Pisces who are attracted to the light. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for coming to watch. If this interests you, I invite you to subscribe. And click that little bell too to all so that you're notified when I post, which is mostly every day. I appreciate your support very, very much. Let's see what the tarot has for us today. Sometimes I do themes, sometimes not. Sometimes I just do readings. Okay, this one wanted to come out. I'm going to get that one here. There's no rhyme or reason for what I do. No. Except to inspire and help Pisces any way I can. It's been a very good week for me, Pisces, although I've had a lot of revelations this week. A lot of shadow work and internal work. Ooh. With the High Priestess. A lot of intuitive work. Absolutely. Spirit has had my back. It's let me look into the darker parts of me. Parts that we don't always want to look at. But it's the only way to unblock so we can move forward. Right. To unblock and move forward. By the way, that's the Five of Pentacles. I'm going to have to remember to put the cards kind of sideways so you guys can see. Because I've got the light a little muted tonight. But I'm going to use these as clarifiers. These. Alright. So, I was wondering where this was going, but I guess it's what have we learned this week. Okay? So, the first card that came out was the King of Swords. What did we learn this week, right? Let's see here. We can get the clarifiers. I'm going to shuffle them, and then I'm going to put them aside, and we're going to use them as clarifiers. Alright. Twice. We have the Knight of Cups as the clarifier to the King of Swords. We've learned that going deep into our intellect, going inside of ourselves to find the answers, can bring on quite the intensity in emotions. It has no other way of being but that. Because we are emotional Pisces. The cups represent us in the most significant way. And the Knight is one of the most emotional cup in all of the cards. Very intense. So a very intense King of Swords brought on a very intense Knight of Cups. But it was needed, because when you start clearing out the shadows, it can get a little bit intense. Okay, don't need to be doing that anymore. Okay, so we have the Five of Cups here. So, bringing up all of this stuff is really accomplishing a lot, because this is a card of accomplishment, the Four of Wands. I usually tell people when the Five of Cups comes out, stop staring at these cups that have fallen and realize that the cups behind you are still there. But in this case, I'm going to tell you that this week was more about looking at those dropped cups and seeing exactly how they got there. Did we drop them, or did somebody kick them? For myself, I have to say that I realized that for some of these, I dropped them myself. That it was a little bit self-inflicted. But that in itself is a great accomplishment. To look inside of yourself and find that maybe things don't always work out because, not necessarily because of anybody else, but maybe something of inside of yourself, something deep inside of yourself, something that you propagated. It may have not been started by you, but you may have been the one to continue down that road. You had the Emperor here, and with it is going to bring a stability of your heart and your life with the Nine of Cups. See that? All of this shadow work is going to bring that strong, stable of the mountains and that stone seat that he's on. And lots of personal blessings. Lots of them, Pisces. Okay? This work is so important. To look inside of yourself and see the ugly parts and understand them and even forgive yourself for them is so important in your personal growth. It unblocks. It helps you move forward in your own life. Talking about blocks, here's that Eight of Swords again, but it's got the assessment card attached to it. Okay? So this week has been all about assessing these blocks and seeing where they come from and how to get rid of them, how to make them disappear out of your life. You really need that inner work to move on to the next step, Pisces. Very, very important. That pesky Eight of Swords, it always comes out for us, doesn't it? At the same time, you're cleaning up this mess, because this is a mess, this is a conflict, and you're getting a clearer way, a clearer destination. Now you know where to push these sphinxes, horses, whatever you want to call that are pulling your chariot. You know where to guide them to. You know where to lead them now. Because you're cleaning that house of yours. You're getting rid of this awful mess in your brain. The stuff that's muddling you up. The stuff that's stopping you from manifesting what you want. It's a wonderful thing. Alright. The card that came out after that was, of course, the Priestess. The beautiful Priestess in this deck. Isn't she gorgeous? She's gorgeous. She reminds me of an actress. I can't remember her name now. You have the Page of Wands here. The Page of Wands is somebody who has new ideas, okay? Swiftness of movement. Somebody who is becoming fearless inside of themselves. And this is because you're working with your intuition. You're working on the shadows. You're putting light. You're illuminating them with intuition and a lot of knowledge of yourself, of what you're getting from spirit. Okay? And by banishing those old misguided ideas, you're coming up with brand new ideas. Okay? New ways of thinking, new ways of doing. It's quite the epiphany, Pisces. It's really helping you move forward. And last but not least, you can move away from this feeling of loneliness and alienation that all of these misguided thoughts and all these shadows were casting on you, and lead you finally to that new beginning. That beginning that you know there are no guarantees, but there's no guarantees in life regardless of what you do, Pisces. There's just no guarantees, okay? All you can do is leap and hope for the best and take what's coming and go roll with it, okay? Just roll with it. But don't stay stuck here. No more Five of Pentacles. You don't need to stay on the outside. The doors were never locked for you, Pisces. They've always been open. You've always had access to just turn the knob and go in, or the key was very nearby. You have self-isolated yourself in this journey. It's time to let yourself in. It's time to walk away from that cold and lonely snow and into that bright sunshine, which you deserve. It's yours to have, Pisces. It is yours to have. I hope that your week has been as enlightening as mine has been. I know for sure that I removed quite a few blocks this week, Pisces. It wasn't always fun. It was rather quite painful at times to maybe be the villain of my own story. I know that some of the thoughts that I've had when I was younger were guided along by people who were part of my life. But at some point I took the reins on those thoughts and I continued on with them instead of finding a new way. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not battering and bashing myself. I've come a very long way from the people who were part of my life raising me. However, I had to come to a realization this week that maybe some of the things that happened or some of the thoughts that I had in my life where I separated myself from other people were my own doing. A lot of the times we're ready to just put up blocks and blame others. But when looking back on it this week, with Spirit's guidance and help, I realized that through habit, I had followed the path of others and had adopted the same kind of ways of dealing with things instead of seeing what really was. And all the people that I had blamed in certain situations, well, they were not to blame, I was. It's never easy admitting you're wrong. It's never easy to shed the light in the dark corners where you don't really want to look. But it is awfully freeing to see it, admit it, forgive yourself, and then let go. And move forward with all that experience so that you can share it with others, such as I have with you today. Thanks so much for listening to my little rant here. I appreciate it. I hope this resonates with some of you, all of you, and I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful evening, morning, early morning, and I will see you very, very soon, Pisces. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great evening. Stay safe.